walking stick to the left and we're
Genocide is their mission, and what's going on, how they check their progress. We don't need these borders. The people who are already here, people in Canada, people who are in Mexico, we were already here. We were all already here. I should have no problem going to my own homeland. My homeland is on the coast and it's divided by the states, by the government. You have to acknowledge that these 50 states originated from 13 colonies. And this government, this is the colonial government. No one's illegal in stolen land. Over there talking to line 3. Over there at line 3 for a minute, the police would gang stalk us. Every day the police would be sitting out outside of our entrance, watching us, watching all the cars that left. Would pull people over for the smallest things, like mud on the license plates. And the state, you can't have anything hanging on your rearview mirror, so they'll pull you over for that. Any little thing, you know, backlights don't work, whatnot, switches don't work. The police will pull everyone over for every little thing because the police were at that time the police were being, like their overtime was being paid by the company, the Enbridge company, the else line 3, that's building line 3. So the police were being used as a private security force by the Enbridge company for, as a private security force. The police are not a private security force, but they're being used like that, so their responsibility as police is being abused and sold out for the private interest of a giant corporation that wants to put the Mississippi River in danger of pollution. And, putting the Mississippi River, America's largest river, in danger for the benefit of Canadian oil company that's going to pump the dirtiest stuff of oil across the headwaters of Mississippi to be shipped across the ocean to another country somewhere across the ocean. All of this is being put at risk for the benefit of a private interest, with America taking all the risk. Because it's all economic. Because the money, the oil is going to make lots and lots of money, not for America or the American people, but for somebody else. Whoever private investors are, whoever they are. But oil is the way of the past. Slowly, it will slowly be replaced with something, or it should be replaced faster now that we have the technology, all the hydrogen, all that gas. I don't know. Not supposed to do all that, but I know that there are alternatives to gasoline and oil. But the main reason why all these perversion that we have gas oil has been kept under the dirt because it's all economic. Because it keeps the oil, the fossil fuel industry, and business generates billions of dollars for these private groups, for private interests, for billionaires, millionaires, oil barons. But when they create their businesses of oil production, it takes a toll, not just extracting the oil from the land, but extracting the people. Especially the lands where they put these oil pipelines, the land is torn up and destroyed when they go through the pipeline. And the people, not only just the land, but also in regard to the man camps, because when they build these pipelines, they bring in man camps to bring in lots of workers, usually men. And at these man camps, this is a bunch of men, 33 months ago, Enbridge workers are found to be part of a sex trafficking ring. These Enbridge workers. They're caught in a police sting to catch sex trafficking rings. They're in the sting. They're found that Enbridge workers are trying to secure younger people to get involved, or underage people to get involved in their operations. So when these pipeline companies come through, they bring not only just the violence upon the land, and they destroy the land, affecting the living situations of thousands of animals, hundreds of animals, beavers, bears, birds. And they bring in these van camps, destroy the land. They bring in the sex trafficking rings. That takes a toll on the people. Sometimes some of the people go missing. Sometimes people get coerced. All because of economics, because they bring money into the area. Take advantage of poor people who are in a bad situation financially. It's all economic. They come through, they destroy the land. They cause pollution, which will go on to destroy more land that can be used to farm, that can generate fruits, vegetables, animals eat the grass that can grow on that land. So once it's polluted, it'll take. If it's not properly cleaned, which they never really properly clean their mistakes, will cause the next few generations to suffer with this dirty polluted oil and this dirty polluted water. And it stays there. It stays there with time. It stays for a long time. And the effects it has on the short-term lifespan on humans is incredible, especially once the next generation is coming along and all this chemical pollution. Through water, into the land, into the food.
Oops, sorry, y'all.
Through all those ways polluted, it goes back into they eat all this polluted food, all this polluted water, and it goes back into them, and it goes to the next generation. They're born, as they say, you are what you eat.
Sorry, y'all.
So
Hold on. Trying to figure something out.
To stop this pipeline, which is going to affect millions, we're asking the people to come in June, because that's when the final permits for the line 3 are more than likely going to go through.
Hold on, sorry.
Private interest, which has shown that it does not
There we go.
the sovereignty
Sorry.
of even America, a country. There's still nations people there, where the proposed pipeline route is. The Ojibwe and all these people, they've been fighting this pipeline for more than a few years. They've been fighting against this pipeline because it is directly in their homelands. And their homelands where their stories tell that when, and part of their origin story, when they were walking along, they were told to walk until they came to a place where food grew in the water. And that place was where the wild rice grew, over there in Minnesota, the Great Lakes, the streams and rivers. This pipeline directly drains those foods, their way of life, their culture. Because when colonialism comes through, one way that colonialism works, it comes through and it destroys the original inhabitants, the indigenous inhabitants, or to destroy the cultural way of their life.
Thank you.
They take away who they are as a people, such as here in the Northwest, where they try to destroy the coast people here in the Northwest with the salmon. When they destroy the salmon, they take away their cultural way of life because they rely upon the salmon. Not only just the people here, but they rely on many other creatures rely upon the salmon as the way of life. It generates their culture. In the same way in Minnesota, the wild rice generates their culture of life. They're living on the river. That's where their origin story, part of their origin story is on the wild rice. So when those pipelines spill and pollute the river, all that wild rice, all that water, all the fish, all that will be gone. Their culture will effectively be destroyed, and it will be because these governmental systems have failed to do what they're supposed to do when the United States made treaties with our people. Those to protect our people, to make sure our people never die out. But now, they're saying they've forgotten their promises. To allow a foreign interest such as the Canadian oil pipeline company called Embers to put in a toxic hazard here near the headwaters in the Pacific, threatening not only the Ojibwe people's way of life, their culture, the wild rice, the waters. They're endangering all of America by doing so. They're putting this toxic form of pollution that is going to go into the river once it bursts, because with the colonial pipeline that went off recently, it's proven that these pipelines can be hacked online. If they can be hacked online, maybe it can be put to overload and burst. That's a potential danger that exists with this pipeline 3. That's pipeline line 3. The potential that if they put it in there, it can burst, and it will probably burst if they put it in there, which would devastate the whole country and rip it in two. An ecological, economic disaster on a scale that's never been seen before in the country. We have to stop it. We have a duty to stop it. Whether it's to the land or even to this country or whatnot. At least we have to save the land, so at least future generations will have at least that. Be able to drink water, be able to bathe in water, and not have to be shipped in with governmental assistance. Like with the Flint, Michigan incident, where they had to have bottled water brought to them by the government. And if that's the only way to obtain water, then that's effectively taking away your strength, your way to voice your opposition, your ability to protest. So you have to rely completely on a system to provide you with water, and there's no way to protest against it to provide you with water. It's my basic need. We have to realize the importance of water, because it is one thing that gives us the freedom to act, at least, at the very least. Water gives us life, water gives us everything. Without water we would die, without water we would suffer. And because after this, they realized that, which is why probably wouldn't mind if a lot of water got polluted and everyone had to get their water, which would have to be supplemented through the government, through bonds and contracts, like Nestle. All these bottled water companies would benefit greatly if all the water were to get polluted, and the free access to water was polluted. Their stocks would go up and up, and it would be great for them, but horrible for everyone else. It's all economic, it's all profitable. That you have everyone's most basic needs that they have to have as your monopoly. You cannot oppress everyone. Yeah. East Bank, they also find ivory. It's pretty obvious, at least to us, how wrong the system is in every way. Not just the police. Capitalism, this country, this system. If you are pro-capitalism, you're only one of those two things. You're either the oppressor, you're either a capitalist, doing the oppressing, or with Stockholm syndrome. It's not a capitalism. The brainwashing in this country is so intense. People really love these billionaires. People really want to like these guys. People really think that Elon Musk is just a swell dude.
Fuck Elon Musk!
Fuck Elon
Yeah, fuck Elon Musk. Fuck Bezos, fuck Gates, fuck all. There's no reason for them to $5 billion. Sweet. I saw it online. I really liked it. It was really funny. Like, there should be no millionaires. They should be cut off. They should be $99 billion because every right second goes to healthcare. And you get trophies that says, you want capitalism, and then you do a dog party after you. You don't need billionaires. It's really hard to wrap your mind around how big a billion is. Someone did this online,
No, they're selling it again.
right? Represents like $100,000 or something like that. They're doing it to scale.
Yeah.
The whole site. It's really hard for us to wrap our minds around numbers like millions and billions. How much bigger billions are than millions? Like, it's really like the people who are defending these billionaires really don't know the scale, the true scale of their exploitation. People do know what they're defending are just extreme people, but I think that most people don't understand. Most people don't know how big a billion is and why there's so much poverty. Because we have billionaires. Because we have billionaires because of the military. That's way much bigger than anything. There's no reason for our military to be as advanced as it is right now. I heard like 800, over 800 bases, U.S. bases, overseas, in other countries. Over 800 military bases abroad.
They do that.
Like close behind either China or Russia, they're at like 40. What the fuck? Nothing about this is good. It's good for a few people. Honestly, it's good for really bugs me. All of them are for capitalism. All of it. I hear about socialism, like people are afraid of socialism. Thinking that take all the money away from working people and just give that to you. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make any sense at all. They say that that's going to happen under socialism. What we currently have under capitalism is already the hands of all we do. We need a big law tax. We need to reduce the military spending. We need to abolish the police. There's a bunch of things we need to do. But at the same time, it's actually kind of a short list to be like, really look at it. You think about all the reform that needs to happen to achieve all the things that we actually want. And it just comes down to abolition. It's just, you can't reform this system. The more you spend looking at this, the more you spend studying this, the more you'll realize the whole thing. We need to redo everything. We need to take down the current system and redo it. We don't need the government as big as it is. We don't need a military as big as it is. We don't need borders. We can abolish borders. We can be the first country to abolish borders. Just because it's immigrants, we can abolish borders. Oh, but other people from overseas are going to come over. That's like that. Bring them over. There's a lot going on in the world anyway. You know, we have a lot of resources here. And they're all being foreign. They're all being wasted. The fact that we have so many, the fact that we waste half of our food, the fact that half of the food that we produce goes to waste because we can't sell it, that's fucked up. We have a bunch of people in this country, we live around this and we sit on the shelves all of that time, all of that water and food that went into growing these cows to maturity. They kill them, put them on the shelves, just for them to rot because we couldn't sell them in time? What the fuck? That doesn't make any sense. I'm sure someone, one of you have seen this, there's a video going around of a Dunkin' Donuts employee throwing away the donuts at the end of the day. There was someone else also works for them who was fired for handing them out to these homeless people. The corporations don't care. Clothing companies deliberately destroy their products if they don't get sold, just so they don't make it to the hands of poor people, lower class habits. There were poor people walking around considered like high class. That's not good for the brand. So now let's take the brand. These companies don't care. Capitalism doesn't care. Wells Fargo doesn't care. The United States government doesn't care. ICE doesn't care. All they care about is money and genocide. All they care about is money and violence. There's no reason for ICE to exist. This is a country made of immigrants. Unless you're indigenous, you're an immigrant. We need to abolish the borders of this country, the United States. Abolish the borders. Who wants the country? Give the land back. All the land back to the tribes. You know, like I said, land back does not mean, removing anybody. We all have land. We all have equal access to this land. Indigenous people have the right to their own land, and we, as indigenous people, have the right to our land. The normal people should not have to consult with white people about what they want to do with the land that is their home. This is Seattle. This is the land of the New English people. The normal people don't need permission from white people to do things on their land or on their water. All the land needs to be given back to the indigenous people. Here in Seattle, the Democracy people need to be given their land back. All of these tribes. And you know what? We have enough land to pay reparations to both black and indigenous people. We can do that. We have enough land. We have enough resources to do it. We can both do that. Reparations to black and indigenous people. And not just the patients. Not just the patients. Make sure we all have a house. Make sure we all have land. Make sure it's all evenly distributed. Make sure that there is not one single homeless person left in this country. Every single person living outside is given a home immediately. We have the capacity to do it. We have the ability to do it. This country is wealthy enough to do that. We need a UBI so we can demand better working conditions, higher pay. Better hours and benefits. If work became optional, people would still go to work, but they would demand higher pay and better working conditions. take care of each other. Study after study, you see companies, as soon as they start to take care of their workers, as soon as they start to take care of their employees and start to treat them better, suddenly productivity goes up. Suddenly the company's doing better. Like, why is that? People are exploited from the labor. Simple as that. $13 an hour is not enough. $20 an hour just ain't enough here. $40 an hour, maybe. Get closer. I prefer that. Personally, I'd like to see 40 or 50. Minimum wage is inflation. Wages will not kept up with inflation. While CEO pays are not going up, we're still fighting for scraps. We're still exposable. We're still expendable. They can still fire us. They can still find new employees. Not anymore. Fuck this. I love fucking with employers now. I love this period of time in particular because I feel like I can supply employers. Like, not even really mean it. Just be like, you know, I demand $30 an hour. But burgers. I know. I want $30 an hour. One more. Minimum wage. The idea of minimum wage.
Oh, yeah.
That should be an issue. But the fact that we have to argue over what minimum wage is. Minimum wage should not be the minimum amount. The minimum amount should be allowed to be your employees. The minimum amount necessary to live off of.
Checking it out.
Capitalism is inherently racist. No matter how you look at it, capitalism feeds off of the exploitation of black and indigenous people, whether it be in this country or the country that we're in. Remember, we only have this because of exploitation, because of what we did to other countries, not what we did to the black and indigenous people in this country. This is not prosperous. This is the result of genocide. Abolish ICE!
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 Land is illegal on stolen land!
No one 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 is illegal on stolen land!
Land back!
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 Water is a human right!
Water is a human right!
Oil is not a human right!
Oil is not a human right!
Water is a human right!
Water is a human right!
Oil is not a human right!
Oil is not a human right!
Water is a human right!
Water is a human right!
Oil is not a human right!
Oil is not a human right!
Water is a human right!
Water is a human right!
Oil is not a human right!
Oil is not a human right!
Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
This occupation's got to go!
Hey, hey! Whoa, this occupation's got to go!
Hey, ho! The occupation's got to go!
Hey, hey! Ho, this occupation's got to go!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
watched that D before?
Lee?
Yeah.
Yeah, we follow each other on Instagram. But that's the first time I met him in person.
Are we playing Ansonia version? No, it's your fault.
Baby.
Occupation no more.
He's handsome, huh?
Occupation no more. Occupation no more. Occupation no more.
That's what you think, dude.
While you're shopping, bombs are dropping.
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 Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Long live Palestine.
Long live Palestine. While you're shopping, bombs are dropping.
While you're shopping, bombs are dropping.
While you're shopping, bombs are dropping.
Free, free.
Land back! Land back!
Land back!
Land back!
Land back!
No good cop! No good president! Give the land back to the OG residents! No good cops! No good presidents! Give the land back to the OG residents! No good cops in a racist system! No good cops in a racist system! No good cops in a racist system! Land back! Land back! Land back! Land back! Land back!
SPD again.
Trump!
Fuck Trump! This is what they get paid to do. Try to say they fought us because of property damage and there's been stalking us the whole time, I'm sure. Motherfuckers.
No cops! No prison! Total abolition! No cops! No KKK! Abolish USA! No cops! No KKK! No fascist USA! No cops! No KKK! No racist USA! No cops! No KKK! Abolish USA! Land back!
Land back!
Land back! Land back! Land back! Who's land?
Does that mean there's time?
Who's
I
land?
should hop up on it and get a
Who's land?
Damn.
Who's land?
Flashback.
Who's land?
I'm kind of curious to try it now. Ever since you said you did.
Who's land? Who's land? Who's land? Who's land? Land back! Land back!
Land back!
Land back!
Land back!
No good cop! No good president! Give the land back to the OG residents! No good cops! No good presidents! Give the land back to the OG residents! Who's street? 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 No good cops in a racist system! No good cops in a racist system! No good cops in a racist system! No good cops, no good presidents! Give the land back to the OG residents! Who's street? 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 Who's street?
Oh, these are the art that we saw last time.
Land back!
Land back! Land back! Land back! When a black life is under attack, what do you do? When an indigenous life is
security guard
under
up
attack,
there.
what do you do? When an immigrant life is under attack, what do you do? What do you do?
Stand up, fight
When
back.
indigenous land is under attack, what do you do?
Stand up, fight back.
What do you do?
Stand up, fight back.
When a black life is under attack, what do you do?
Fight back.
When an indigenous life is under attack, what do you do?
Stand up, fight back.
When an immigrant life is under attack, what do you do?
Oh, I've never seen this one before. Stand up, fight back.
When indigenous land is under attack, what do you do? What do you do? No cops, no prison, total abolition.
No cops, no prisons, total abolition.
No cops, no prison, total abolition.
No cops, no prisons, total abolition.
No cops, no KKK, no racist USA.
Where'd you park your car?
No cops,
Usually
no
right here.
KKK, no fascist USA. No cops, no KKK, abolish USA.
I wonder if I got a fucking ticket.
Land back! Land back! Land back! Land back! No good cops, no good presidents. Give the land back to the OG residents.
No good cops, no good presidents. Give the land back to the OG residents.
No good cops, no good presidents. Give the land back to the OG residents.
No good cops, no good presidents. Give the land back to the OG residents.
Land back!
Land back,
Land back!
land back,
Land back!
land back,
Land back! Land back!
An act of racism and white supremacy and anti-blackness and misogynoir used against Cammie Watkins to benefit a white Democrat. The next day, did we hear anything from the Democratic Party? No. Did y'all hear anything from James Clark? Did you hear anything from C.J. King?
No.
As a matter of fact, the only lawmaker to post something about it on his Senate page was John McAllister, a fucking Republican.
Man.
Only in Nebraska can you find Republicans with more integrity than Democrats. Period. So this is why we have some simple demands on the Democratic Party. Right now, and we're gonna show y'all the petition soon. We want the Democrats to call out that act of racism publicly, not in closed door meetings that they claim to have. Were any of y'all at that meeting?
No.
So now white Democrats and their white unions are speaking on behalf of black people, but never show up except for every 2 and 4 years and wonder why the vote totals in North Omaha are always the lowest. Because they got nothing to vote for. You got de jure racism of the Republicans and de facto racism of the Democrats.
Whoa.
Wow. You good?
Cool. So one, we demand that the Democrats call this shit out and that they release a statement saying that no Democratic candidate or lawmaker moving forward should take money or endorsements from the Omaha Police Association. Period. That should not happen. Our second demand is for Mr. Danny Bakley. Who saw Danny Bakley's statement the day after those flyers came out? You saw that shit, JD. Was it genuine?
It was bullshit.
It was bullshit, exactly. So now we're going to demand that Danny Bakley, in his first 30 days as a councilman, introduce a resolution condemning OPOA for using racism, and we want it voted on. If you can't do that, it's like Kiara said, you got to stand up. Demands without consequences are impotent. And let this party know that you're not going to give them their votes, especially black folk. Our lives have to matter as much as our votes, and this party is not showing that right now. So those are the pillars of white supremacy. We got the OPOA. It was already mentioned. Anthony Connor, who I call the top coon, right? In Nebraska, possibly the most dangerous black man in Nebraska, or black presenting man, I should say, in Nebraska, called us the mob, called us crazy, said that if we defund the police, expect more unarmed black and brown people to get shot. It's like Brother Malcolm said, right? You got two types of Negroes. Those who work on the field, like rap, and those who are in the Stothart Ricketts big house, like Anthony Connor, right? We know that black people can uphold white supremacy. Just look at the Supreme Court and look at Ben Carson. So we need Anthony Connor to step down. Not only do we need him to step down, but we need him to enter into Afrocentric appreciation training classes. Because until he knows who he is, he's a danger to himself and all those around us and us. So yo, that's it. That's really all I have to say. Enjoy the food. Please sign the petitions. We have to make our demands stand, or they're never going to take us seriously. That's it. Peace.
Yeah, no, like Brother Anthony was saying, yeah, give him a round of applause, give him a round of applause. So like Brother Anthony was saying, we do have a petition and we are going to send that out to everybody, and we will be putting it on our Facebook page, and we ask everybody to start signing it and to spread that to your friends and families to sign this as well, because Black and Brown, the Democratic Party is reliant on Black and Brown and Indigenous votes. So if they are so reliant on their success on Black and Brown and Indigenous votes, then they should be reliant on the success of Black and Brown and Indigenous lives, and they should defend them by any means necessary. And so we're going to put that to them, and we're going to hold it to them. All right, y'all, we're going to play a song real quick, and we're going to get another speaker in.
Did he have resting bitch face again?
I did not hear her at all.
And you literally just said,
No jobs. 58% of your youth is unemployed. What the hell do you have to lose? Mama let me sip the 40. I was just a shorty. Then I started spitting garlic, and they tried to call me. I feel like this shit was for me. This shit is my story. Turn out the porch, I got a porch on the bag. I wanna blow with the killers and hold my own, of course. I see my mom and dad take away and tell me divorce. So daddy was living by the pop, and he died by the torch. I wanna hate
Minnesota and back and forth between there and DC. I fucking miss Danny, man. I really missed you.
are those
This man counter protesting the tribes. I just, want to give him another chance to talk more on the pipelines. There's a lot going on. Yes, next month is June. The pipelines are going to be going full swing. We need as much support as we can get out there. We need as much, if we can, as much attention that we need more help out there. Not only, there will be more people coming out there, but the more the merrier. Also, the actions they do out there, people do get arrested. They lock down to equipment or lock down to block roads to stop construction for the day. That lets the company know that we do not agree with what they're doing, that we want them to stop. And if we gotta physically put our bodies in the line and put them in the way to stop construction, that's what we will do. We're here to protect the land and the water. It's our duty to protect these things. Without them, nothing else can live. So we put our bodies and our potential freedom on the line to protect the water so that everything can have a chance to live. To keep the water clean for the next generation. We need people to come out who would be willing to do that. On Facebook and Instagram, more so Facebook than Instagram, would be the GNU Collective to check out. It's GNU, it's G-I-N-I-W, I think, Collective. They can be found on Facebook and Instagram. The GNU Collective is a woman-led and two-spirit indigenous-led group. They've been fighting this pipeline for the past few years, but now it's finally come to the last stretch. So they need as much help as they can get to raise their awareness of their Facebook page, their Instagram. Through their page, I think you can help have them raise funds for bailout funds. Because when people get arrested, sometimes they need to be bailed out or bonded out. Also legal fees, because there's a legal fees to go into court. All that, and all that, let me think. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff besides that. There's also food, but I think that's mainly fun. I think go to Good News Facebook page. They have a link to where you can fund them, and their about section. But yeah, we need people to show up and be willing to throw down and be willing to put themselves down on the line for the water and the earth. Because that is what provides life for everything, is the water and the land. And I've been arrested over there already.
Oh my god.
I looked down to something that helped stop construction for a day.
I need to know why. That's not
yeah, I got arrested. I'm still waiting my court trial, but yeah, I know that I am here to lay down for the land and the water. If I can find more people to do so too, that'd be great.
Oh, what the best. ¿Qué? No, de verdad. No. Oh my god, I'm such a culata, way. Creía que era un juguete o algo.
Also, of course, support South Street Medics. They are on their way.
Eso es porque, o sea, porque sigue siendo eso con esa cosa. O sea, como, oh, pobrecito, I'm such a bitch. No sabía. Me siento mal, pobrecito.
Support South Street Medics. They do a lot of really great work. They're on the way to the pipeline too right now.
Oh yeah, South Street Medics.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Support South Street Medics too, yeah.
And you know, we need to keep up the disruption. We need to keep spreading our message. We need to keep letting the world know that this is not okay. That this system needs to end. That Native people need to be given their land. We need to abolish the police. Decrease military spending. We need to make healthcare universal and all of that fun stuff. Still a lot of work that needs to be done, and the best thing we can do is educate ourselves, educate others, and fight back. Fight back.
Yes.
So that's it as far as that goes. Thank you guys so much for showing up again every week.
For sure.
Same time next week, next Saturday, 2 p.m. We leave more like around 4. We try to leave at 3. It's always 4.
The honesty.
Yeah.
Facts.
So, next week, same time next week. Thank you guys a lot for coming out. It really means a lot, especially since these issues are always swept under the rug, since indigenous people are always erased, since our history, our lives are always put by the wayside, right? It really means a lot to see so much support, which historically we've always been forgotten. So, thank you.
For sure, Steve.
Just a quick announcement. June 5th, the Cancel the Rent Coalition is putting on a rally at Othello Park from 12 to 4. The state is going to let eviction protection lapse. So, 10 to 15 to 20% of the population of the state is going to face eviction and massive rent debt. So June 5th, 12 to 4 p.m.
Political operative. Lack of adequate health care, lack of affordable child care, inequitable wages, poverty, environmental injustices, abuse, unequal or uncertain pregnancy outcomes. These are all things that have become statistically synonymous with black women.
because we live in a failed society. It's failed because instead of instituting basic protections for black women, white people would rather slave off the backs of black women for cheap or free labor, even to this very day. And by the way, ladies, y'all deserve your whole damn dollar, and then some. The daily atrocities that black women face are astronomically horrendous, and we have had enough. That's why we are here today. I had the pleasure, the pure pleasure, last cycle, along with my fellow comrades, some of which are here today, of knocking on nearly 4,000 doors for Cammie Watkins, an honorable woman, a leader in promoting inclusivity, climate justice, racial justice, and police accountability. She ran an unapologetic campaign as an independent for the Omaha City Council in District 3. And we came up just 550 votes short. 2 weeks before the election, the Omaha Police Officers Association, led by raging right-wing fascist Anthony Connor, sent out an extraordinarily racist mailer on behalf of Democratic Councilman-elect Danny Begley, depicting Cammie as a purveyor of violence and lawlessness, both of which are not true. Here's what is true, though. Anthony Connor is on record saying that black people have the shittiest communities, the highest abortion rates, they're child abusers and sex offenders who justifiably should get shot by the police. He does not give a damn about the communities because that he swore an oath to protect. Protect and serve my ass.
Yes, sir! Protect me!
After the mailer was sent out, Begley released an incredibly weak statement condemning the mailers that he and his campaign obviously approved beforehand. His statement was so weak that even his campaign manager and his entire campaign team quit 1 week before the election. I've worked with some of the Democrats, and they always talk a good game about Black Lives Matter and racial justice whenever an election is around the corner. But when it comes time to act, they are nowhere to be found. Period. This is why we see so many young BIPOC voters leaving the party and becoming independents. We are here to demand that the Democrats quit affiliating with racist entities like the OPOA in any way, especially after the turnout BIPOC voters gave them for their little blue dot last November. To see such an anemic reaction to blatant racism is a proverbial slap in the face that's become all too familiar as of late. The Democrats do not own our votes. They have to earn our votes. Folks, we have a midterm coming up next November. It is imperative that we show the establishment what our grassroots movement is made of, folks. Let's do the damn thing.
Yes! Hey, I love that Jaden just put that because Jaden really put things in perspective. Once RJ Neary weaseled his way out of the primaries, and it's like, nah, you do not own my vote, you earn my vote. And the Democrats are so hell-bent that they got our votes on lock, and they need to try nothing. They don't need to go to the community because they already got our votes on lock because they are the lesser of two evils. So I'm so glad that Jaden brought that out.
Yes,
so we got to get another song going, and then we got a couple more speakers, and then we got a couple more speakers, and then we are going to do the finale, and then we are going to drop the presents off at our illustrious pig union. The trash that the pig union decided to throw out towards Cammie Watkins, a woman with straight integrity, a black woman with straight integrity, and they threw this trash and they emoted it to us, so we are just returning the favor to them, and we are returning these illustrious, I don't even know what a cool way to say that, but we turning the pig heads over. We bringing in the pig's heads. We got it.
Bringing the brothers home.
Off with his head.
Up with his head.
Oh, yes.
Holy moly.
That sounds delicious.
Artichoke got a little,
It's a little bit slushy. I'm live streaming. Hello. Crystal's on here. Yay. Oh, very important.
Thanks anyway.
no worries.
Peace, unstolen man.
fight! You can fight!
Free Palestine! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! Freedom is our command! The peace of stolen land! Freedom is our command! Freedom is our command!
Peace on stolen land.
Peace on stolen land!
Free Palestine.
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine.
Free Palestine!
From the river to the sea.
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free.
Palestine will be free!
Resistance is justified when people are occupied.
Resistance is justified when people are occupied. Resistance is justified when people are occupied. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated.
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free
Free Palestine!
Palestine!
Free Palestine!
From the river to the sea!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
Palestine will be free!
This seems to be a police-sanctioned protest, as we've been getting guided by officers the whole way. By no means this is a random protest. As you can tell, there's a sign coming with saying Free Palestine on it, a billboard sign. Boycott Israel, Free Palestine. This is what they're gonna do. They're gonna block the street so people can cross. Living here in Las Vegas and been protesting here since 2006. Been a journalist here since 2012. So these type of tactics of the cops doing this is just what it is just one, cutting down the distance of the protest and how far it's willing to go and how far it can go, meaning it's shortening the distance on where we get to go, meaning we don't get to hit the big hotels, or they're going to make us go left, which it seems like they might, but we'll see. But they're trying to figure out what they want the protesters to do. They just got the okay. So they blocked the street for nothing apparently. Just let us keep going on this side of the road. Stupid shit, I forgot. So after the cops gave the okay, now we can go. It seems like they wanted us to go somewhere else, but they didn't.
Free Palestine!
But now they're making us go the way that we were already going through. And my silly self thought I had my other mic still plugged in, but I forgot I didn't. But we got people protesting everywhere. Sorry, man. What's up, man?
The occupation's got to go!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
From the river to the sea.
Like I said, this protest is organized by Jewish and Palestinians that came together in order to put this protest.
Palestine will be free.
Palestine will be free.
Justice is our demand.
Before the march started, they wanted to emphasize that even though the ceasefire was given, we still can't listen to the ceasefire as they're still killing Palestinians to this day.
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
That's Seth right there, one of the Seth and Mark. Seth is a Jewish organizer that put this together alongside Mark. Mike is a Palestinian organizer that put this together alongside.
We don't want 2 states!
We want all of it!
We want all of it!
We don't want 2 states!
We don't want 2 states!
We want all of it!
We want all of it!
Hey, hey, oh, oh, the occupation's got to go!
Hey, hey, ho, ho, the occupation's got to go!
Hey, hey, oh, oh, the occupation's got to go!
Hey, hey, ho, ho, the occupation's got to go!
Hey, hey, oh, oh, the occupation's got to go!
Hey, hey, ho, ho, the occupation's got to go!
Intifada, intifada!
Intifada, intifada!
Long live the intifada!
Long live the intifada!
Intifada, intifada!
Intifada, intifada!
Long live the intifada!
Long live the intifada!
Settler, settler, go back home! Palestine is ours alone!
Palestine is ours alone!
Settler, settler, go back home!
Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
Palestine will be free!
Justice
is our demand!
Justice is our demand!
No peace!
On stolen land!
Peace on stolen land!
Freedom
Is our demand!
Freedom is our demand!
No peace on stolen land!
Peace on stolen land!
Israel, you can hide!
Israel, you can hide!
We charge you with genocide!
We charge you with genocide!
Israel, you can hide!
Israel, you can hide!
We charge you with genocide!
God that loves both the rich and the poor equally.
Right. He was here today.
And Jesus is calling us to that. He's calling us to that right now. No matter if you believe in Jesus or not, he's calling you to it. He made a choice, and you need to as well. And I think that, given everything that's happened, especially with the Democratic Party, with white Democrats, white Democratic Christians, who think that they can be both Christians and Democrats at the same time and support people like Danny Begley, that's some bullshit.
Right.
Now, sorry, it's incompatible. You cannot support somebody like Danny Begley and also be a part of the Democratic Party and be a Christian.
No, sir.
You can't. To do so, I think, is to side with the oppressor and work against the oppressed. And I think that, even if you guys aren't Christians, even if none of you believe in that, I think that our love has to manifest itself as wrath. Because I think that God's love for white people, for white oppressors, for the oppressors, manifests itself as wrath. And we must love our people so much that we're willing to manifest that love as wrath. We can't just use nice words.
Right.
We can't just get on our knees and beg them. We're going to have to take that shit, because they're not just going to give it up unwillingly.
People who think of these things as their privilege, as what they deserve, as what they should have, as what it's their divine right. They're not just going to give that shit up unwillingly.
Right. Hello.
Our love must be a refusal to accept whiteness, even if it costs you everything. Love for the oppressors can only mean wrath. And if the Democrats continue to support the oppressors, our love will manifest itself as wrath, and we will hold the Democrats accountable for their oppression.
Absolutely.
Further, our love for black people cannot be abstract. It must be concrete because black suffering is concrete. It can't just be wearing a Black Lives Matter shirt. It can't be posting on Twitter, Black Lives Matter.
Right. No
It can't be going on to 72nd and Dodge and holding up a fucking sign and thinking that's enough. It's not. It's not enough.
Exactly.
It has to be concrete because black suffering is concrete. I have no patience for a love that accepts white racists in the same way that it accepts and loves oppressed blacks. There's no use for a God or a love that loves oppressors in the same way that they love the poor. As James Cone said, one of the greatest black liberation theologians of all time, he said, "A God without wrath does not plan to do much liberating." And Democrats who do not have wrath for the oppressors, even within their own party, will do no liberating. They must have wrath, and it can't just be nice words. It cannot be getting on our knees for them.
We've been doing that for too long, and they don't do shit.
Indeed. So to end this, I have a word of warning for those in power. The people are coming for you. The last will be first, and the first will be last. Not a month from now, not a year from now, not 10 years from now, but right fucking now. The first will be last, and the last will be first.
You good, Bear?
All right, y'all. So yeah, that's our last. That was the last speaker right here. If you guys would love, or we would love to have you join our climax at the very end. Our climax is all of us are going to show a cohesive strength of image, a powerful image, and we are going to take ourselves to the pig union, and then we are going to exclaim our exasperations. We are going to take these beautiful, beautiful, beautiful pig heads, and then we're going to put them back onto their property. And then at that same time, all of the cami flyers, like I said, that they had sent out on an inflammatory basis, we're about to bring this back to them and return their trash that they spread through the community. And that's going to start in about... That's going to start in like 5 minutes. We about to get a song going, and then we about to get that going. We going to have anybody that wants to come with, bring your flyers, bring all of your flyers, and then anybody that wants to stay, y'all can stay right here. Like I say, come down there. We're going to have one more speech down at the pig union. We are prepared that the pigs are going to be waiting, and we're also going to be prepared that the pigs are not going to let us into their property. And if they don't let us into their property, then we just gonna post up on the sidewalk and we gonna post up on their lawn and we gonna still give it to them 100%. They are not going to shut us out anymore. They are not going to add limitations, and we are not going to adhere to those limitations. Whenever those limitations get brought up to us, we are gonna knock them down, we are gonna leap it over, and we are gonna liberate ourselves through those limitations. We will not let this happen. All right, y'all, all power for the people. We about to start marching in like 5 minutes. I love y'all so much.
Hello. Oh, look at that.
Palestine will be free.
Palestine will be free.
Palestine will be free.
Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
Occupation's got to go! Israel, you can hide! We charge you with genocide! We charge you with genocide! Israel, you can hide! Israel, you can hide! We charge you with genocide! We charge you with genocide! Resistance is justified when people are occupied! 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 Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! From the river to the sea! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free! From the river to the sea! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free! Freedom is our demand! Freedom is our demand! No peace on stolen land! No peace on stolen land! Justice is our demand! Justice is our demand! No peace on stolen land! No peace on stolen land! There is only one solution! There is only one solution! Intifada revolution! Intifada revolution!
There's only one solution!
There is only one solution!
You on it. So when would the festival be?
November.
November, okay.
We're thinking like the Day of Solidarity with Palestinians is November 28th or 9th.
Okay.
So that weekend. But the imam wants to do it sooner.
Okay.
So
I'll shoot you my email on Instagram.
yeah, please do.
Yeah.
And then yeah, it's gonna be a lot. And I still need to find a Palestinian to help me because me doing it by myself, I think I looks weird.
Yeah, I hear that.
But yeah, I'm just gonna talk to people who do the Lebanese festival. See how many people we can get.
I'm sure you'll get enough.
I think so. I was thinking of just a small community here in Vegas.
Yeah.
Building community. And this other girl was like, hell, she's like, do you know Palestinians? They're gonna come from everywhere. I was like,
that's a good point. You're ready for like a Standing Rock 2.0 type shit.
We charge you with genocide!
We charge you with genocide!
You can hide!
Israel, you can't hide!
We charge you with genocide!
We charge you with genocide! Free Palestine! Free
Yo creo que en donde me dejaste, yo creo. Pues a la hora que puedas. Sí, está bien. Si puedes, ya, pues ya. En cuanto para yo saber, quiero retirarme. Ok, entonces, ¿sabes qué? Dime ya que vayas, vengas pasando todas las Vegas Boulevard, ¿no? Ok, sale pues. Entonces, ¿quieres que te... pero no traes el cargador o qué? Bueno, pues, sale pues, ponlo en modo, de conservar pila. Baja las opciones de arriba y ponle, en la pila.
Peace on stolen land.
¿Sí viste?
Justice is our demand.
No te oigo ya.
No peace on stolen land.
Ah, ahí está, ya está en modo. Ahí de conservar.
Hey, hey!
Ok, pues me
Ho,
avisa.
ho! The occupation's got to go!
Hey, hey! Ho, ho! The occupation's got to go!
Hey, hey! Ho, ho! The occupation's got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! The occupation's got to go! Free! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free!
From the river to the sea.
From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free!
Freedom is our demand.
Freedom is our demand!
Peace on stolen land.
Oh, peace on stolen land!
Justice is our demand. No peace on stolen land. There is only one solution. Intifada revolution. There is only one solution.
There is only one solution!
Intifada revolution.
Intifada revolution!
Intifada, intifada. Long live the intifada. Intifada, intifada.
Intifada! Intifada! Long live the Intifada!
Free Palestine.
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine.
Free Palestine!
From the river to the sea. Palestine.
Sí. For those that follow CNN, Fox, or any news outlet that has been saying that there's been violence coming out of Las Vegas in these rallies, protests, however you want to see them, just know that I've seen more right-wing extremism, hate towards the Palestinians out here by right-wing is really, just keep that in mind. You know, keep it in mind that they're feeding the bullshit narrative while the people that are out here and actually living the perspective as working class, they are facing the racism, sexism, and misogyny. It's raining already. Right? Feels nice though, right?
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
From the river to the sea!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
Palestine will be free!
From the river to the sea!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
Palestine will be free!
Justice is our demand!
Justice is our demand!
No peace on stolen land!
No peace on stolen land!
Freedom is our demand!
Freedom is our demand!
No peace on stolen land!
Peace on stolen land!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
From the
Sorry, ma'am.
river to the sea!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
Palestine will be free!
From the river to the sea!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
Palestine will be free!
Justice is our demand!
Justice is our demand!
And peace on stolen land!
Peace on stolen land!
Freedom is our demand!
Freedom is our demand!
They came out of nowhere. Yeah, they killed peace on stolen land!
I believe
That we
will win!
will win!
I believe that we will win!
That we will win!
I believe that we will win!
I believe that we will win! I believe that we will win!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
From the river to the sea!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
Palestine will be free!
From the river to the sea!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
Palestine will be free!
You guys, try to gather on the other side of the fountain. Please help pass the cameras out.
Seems like now we're gonna have the vigil that they were speaking of earlier before they started with the protest in March.
Come closer to the street, guys.
You know, alright. Don't leave it in your car. Call the police. Let them be the ones going out here. God, for the love of God, need to see this. And hung up the phone. Bruh.
Yes, ma'am.
They're really quiet now.
They don't have shit to say.
Besides, get off their property.
The law is on our side for one time.
Yeah.
You can't do shit.
They can sit here and talk shit, and so can
You
we.
know the First Amendment training that y'all are forced to do because of the lawsuit that you guys fucked up on July 25th?
Yikes.
That training that you guys have to do now? So where's that coming into play?
That's your
I'm
fault.
so curious. Why are you so silent right now, brother?
Because you had a lot to say at first.
Y'all don't start no drama. You got female drama. If y'all just go do your actual job and stop harassing people and protect and serve, then this wouldn't be an issue.
I know it, brother. It is so sad when we talk about domestic violence. It is such a jokeable offense. I know, man. I really know.
What's physically happened now?
No, they
Oh, you hear this song? This
We ain't got no guns. We ain't got nothing like that. What are y'all doing?
what are y'all doing? This is the 1033 program like that. Hey, how many of y'all went through warrior training? Hey, how many of y'all went through warrior training?
How many of you guys learned how to step up? 400, 502, 516,
$350,000
$571
last year from the feds, and you guys didn't have to show where you did with it. What about that? And how you got this money is based off the amount of arrests that you do, based off the amount of raids that you do, that's on the amount of people incarcerated that you do. That is solely based off of the money that you receive. So what's up with the justice?
Yep, so the police have absolutely nothing to say now.
Fucking fascist.
Oh, I know. I'm surprised they're not paying attention. You got his attention. That's how you call a pig. Oh, paying attention. Damn, it's working. It's working.
Alright, y'all, so I guess I'm gonna try and do my speech right here. Alright.
So the Omaha Police Officer Association prides itself on racial provocation and prides itself in their main objective is division within our community. For decades and for centuries, they have been pushing and perpetuating hateful rhetoric, racial rhetoric, and everything in between. And we, the community, have just been regurgitating it. No, the community has two options to take what this racist, inflammatory thing that you have said to us. We got two options. The first option is to regurgitate it, and the second option is become numb to it. You guys are such predators and terrorists that you have created numbness, a state of Novocaine in our community, because we have been surviving against you guys. We have been surviving against you pigs for decades, for centuries. Black people have a survival tactic on. We numb to it. You have narcoticized us with no impunity whatsoever. With absolutely no impunity whatsoever. And honestly, I just want to point out that Cammie is a small slice in all of this. Cammie is just an innocent black woman that was that had racial undertones thrown at her and sexist undertones thrown at her. But I want to say that Cammie was the straw that broke the conspicuous camel of supremacy's back. These pigs have no impunity whatsoever. These pigs have not, for decades, like I said, they have been regurgitating whatever they can. So, it's about time that we start taking dark in the light and start bringing darkness in the light, and we start to tell them what up. And the first thing that we are going to talk about is their vice president of the Omaha Police Officers Association. All you pigs know who I'm talking about. The vice president of the Omaha Police Officers Association was fired. He got fired from his job in 2011 for beating up a defenseless black man. He got fired. Then the pig union, through their process, got this pig his job back. And not only did they get this pig his job back, now he's in a position of leadership. Now he's in a position to actually represent these pigs. So with all these pigs over here talking about all the bad apples don't represent us, all the bad apples is this, the bad apples is that. Well, your bad apple that got arrested for beating up an innocent black man is now vice president representing you. Your president, your president of the police union has said that we are uncivilized animals, that we have the shittiest communities, that we have the highest illiteracy rates, that we have the highest abortion rates. And this is the man that you want to represent your association? This is the man, this is your bad apple. So everything that he has said is in direct correlation with you. Everything that he has said is in direct correlation with you.
It represents
going no, he ain't going no skate no more, and I promise you that. I promise you that. I do want to bring out that Anthony Connor has proven himself the complete token of Omaha politics. This man has completely tokenized himself, and the white people use him as a token. And Malcolm X said it best, y'all. The white people will always use the white people will always use black people to push their white supremacist agenda. Because if these black people are pushing these white supremacist agenda, these white pigs can hide behind that and say, oh, look it.
He's even saying that about your people. He's even saying that, oh, that's cool, I'm not racist. This black man saying this. This black man is just used as a tool to weaponize against us. And also, it is to be emphasized that this black man that is used as a tool against us is disposable in the highest degrees. These white people put Anthony Connor in office because he does not cause trouble. They put Anthony Connor in office because he aligns highest with white supremacist ideals. And as soon as there's enough pressure put on these white elites, they're going to drop Anthony Connor's black ass faster than RJ Neary dropped out the race.
Oh. Hello. Get him.
I'm on your ass.
And I do want to bring up that this coon, I'm getting it from Brother Anthony, this Jim Crow Dixiecrat in blackface has switched over to the Republican Party. He switched over to the Republican Party, and that just goes to show. Exactly, and that just goes to show the Jim Crow Dixiecrat that he has been and that he has perpetuated time and time again. And the only reason that was keeping him on the Democratic Party was his semi-black presenting skin. But as soon as his community turned against him and they showed that he's an enemy of the community, then we are not fucking with him no more. I do want to bring up the great point about one of our demands about the Nebraska Democratic Party having to be held accountable for their actions. And look, Brother Anthony said it best. Brother Anthony said it best. The Nebraska Democratic Party and the Democratic Party all across the world, all across the country, relies on black and brown and indigenous voice. They talk about this time and time again. They come into our neighborhoods every 2 years, every 4 years, and they go to black people and they say, "Oh, we got your best interest. We can help you to your highest degree." And then the black people, we see right through that. We see right through that, and it's the facade is starting to unravel. All right, I got one more thing for y'all, and then I gotta shut up. Omaha has been, but it's about to change right now. Omaha has had obedience parasitically weasel itself into our consciousness to show us and to impede on any type of revolution whatsoever. I wanna end it off on this. With these Nebraska Democratic parties and the petition that we are going to force their hand on, these Nebraska Democratic parties that are supposed to be for us, these allies are supposed to be for us, but then when we come to them about our atrocities, and when we come to them talking about real shit, we always have to sanitize our oppression. We always have to go slide and be like, oh, no, it wasn't that hard. No, it wasn't that hard. If these allies are really for you, and the Nebraska Democratic Party really is for you, then we shouldn't have any compromising. We shouldn't have any compromising at all. These white people and these Democratic parties, they need a clean house. And they need a clean house. And if these white Democratic parties do not clean house,
got some reinforcements coming in,
then they don't deserve to have a house. And not only do they not deserve to have a house, that house deserves to burn down. Thank y'all so much. All power to the people. These pigs.
All power to the people.
All power to the people.
Whatsoever.
Yeah, we should get everyone's badges.
Right.
Because it's right, you right, you pig. Whipping it out. There's kids running around.
Hey, if all of y'all are really tough, shouldn't you give us your
2239.
Shouldn't y'all give us your address if y'all really tough? If y'all really big and bad? Why are you hiding behind the bag? Why are you hiding behind where you work?
We're not that bad.
Why don't you give us your address? You don't give us the address.
We are now collecting badge numbers.
I know it, big man.
So can hold these cops accountable.
I know it, big man. I just wanted to bring you some cookies, man. I just wanted to bring you some cake, man. I wanted to give you a Mayday basket, man. No, I know it. Because when a black man stands up, you get scared. It's totally cool.
That's why you sat in your car, man.
The black man does not say, yes, master, no, masters. I was been a good boy. Fuck no, that definitely intimidates you.
I can cut you the down and smoke it.
My ass. That's
Alright, so does anybody want to say some things to these pigs while we got the pigs right here trying to impede on any type of peaceful protest? We have shown no malicious intent whatsoever. And these pigs trying to impede on
100-pound white woman. He was scared.
These kids to the point in the time is like, when are we going to keep on allowing them to limit us?
Saying.
When are we going to keep on allowing these pigs
He's like, I like the
right there? And stand back. I'm talking to you. When are we going to allow these pigs to put this guard right there, and then we a miraculous burst of wind pushes those pig cars down, and a miraculous burst of wind pushes these pigs down. It's gonna come a time. Keep on oppressing us, keep on repressing us, and you keep on having it is inevitable.
Oh, here comes Sarge.
I'm gonna tell you that right now. Where's Sergeant at? Who he at?
Oh, we got a sergeant.
I still need that badge number.
Yeah, we need that badge number.
Badge number, please, sir.
Please take into account that any action you take against us is being recorded. Any action you take against us will be
Hey, what's that
unconstitutional.
sergeant's name? Sergeant, what's your name?
Yeah, you tell him.
Don't let me start.
Like,
Any action you take will reflect badly on you.
Oh, that looks like the one that from fucking Lieutenant Jones was.
oh, where? What?
Yeah.
I want to see, dude.
Yeah. That's him. That is him.
Kenneth Jones, sergeant?
1154. Hey,
no, 1154 just aggressively just.
Go talk to Mike Matuza and Chief Smarter. Didn't they tell you on that lawsuit? I'm part of that lawsuit. Didn't they tell you on that lawsuit? Where's your First Amendment training? Y'all been doing that? Diversity training? Y'all been doing that?
They're
Well, how
supposed
about when
to.
there's going to be no mass arrest?
And you
No mass arrest.
I don't know why you approached a young girl so aggressively.
Bro, for real. What are you, a fucking predator?
Are you putting gloves on?
It's our First Amendment.
He's putting gloves on and he turned his body cam on, so you know he about to do some shicey shit.
Mr. Proud Boy just pulled up.
Please don't run up on him like that. So what you're not going to do is run up on a black man.
Back up! Yeah.
You just tell me to back up.
Yeah, I did tell you to back up. I did tell you to back up.
This dude's putting on gloves too.
Fucking salary.
Mr. Davis, how you doing tonight, sir? Getting ready to brutalize some people, man?
So are we, honey.
What you doing? I'm so curious. Ring Hawk? I'm so curious. Ring Hawk. Hey, yo, they know me already.
You have a gun and a fucking vest. Nobody here has any weapons. We don't know why you're being so aggressive to people. You're approaching. No,
You literally, no, fuck that. You literally ran up on a woman.
You remember when you just came up to me aggressively as fuck?
First Amendment, sir.
Period.
You gonna do a mass arrest?
Yeah.
You gonna do a mass arrest?
So as you guys see, they're getting ready to do a mass arrest. Go ahead and share this.
Y'all still on probation, right? You guys are legally bound to the
Yikes.
lawsuit. Oh, you're not familiar. Oh, you're not familiar.
Pull up the
No, you don't care about You don't care about
Ignore the law. That's so awesome.
Protect and serve my house.
That's so cute. You can lose another trial against all of us.
You don't care about the lawsuit.
Military.
You don't care about the lawsuit. You don't care about the lawsuit. No. Say that again. Say that again. You don't care about the lawsuit?
Yeah, you did. You actually
just did.
You're not even listening. You literally said you're not listening.
I didn't dare miss him.
So why should we care what the fuck you said? Because you have a badge on?
Look at all. Damn, y'all coming in deep.
Hey, actually, where do you live at? Where do you live at?
Yeah, man.
Where do you live at? I was gonna bring you some cookies. Where do you live at? 241.
You can easily find that out.
Cookies and some
Yeah.
cake.
You've already
visited
easily looked that up.
So where do you live at? I just told you mine. Where you live at? Oh, you ain't gonna tell me?
Literally, like, bro, hundreds of people are watching you right now. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Apparently you are.
We're like a 40-year-old man.
Why are you threatening to mass arrest us then if you're not so scared?
White
You fucking Nazi sympathizer.
I'll tell you that right now.
Just having video and peacefully protesting.
But if you're not afraid of me, then what's your address? If you're not afraid of me, what's your address?
Look at this
Oh,
hey-oh.
Okay, we have more in the badge numbers.
You're not scared, but you got an army coming on.
We're not scary, but we deserve to be detained.
But I'm not scared.
Y'all a bunch of pussies.
We're peacefully protesting and they're threatening to arrest us.
They're bringing a whole army.
Peacefully protesting.
They're literally bringing a whole army.
That's a citable offense.
This is Lieutenant Davis of the Omaha Police Department. You're all trespassing. You will leave the property.
You ain't listening to us, so why we gotta listen to this motherfucking lieutenant?
Declared in you'll be arrested.
Bro, that's called a protest.
Yeah, we're just protesting. It's our civil right.
This is Lieutenant Davis with the Omaha Police Department. Criminal activities occurring on this property. You're trespassing. Cease all criminal activity and leave there immediately or an unlawful assembly will be declared.
They are threatening to declare an unlawful assembly. They are threatening to declare an unlawful assembly. They are threatening to arrest over 70 people.
Hey man, what's so malicious about...
Private property. Oh, no, exactly. But it was a citable offense.
That's what you
that
protect.
Oh, you must not understand.
It doesn't matter.
That was a citable. No. That was a citable offense.
What crime are we committing?
No, listen. Under law,
This guy doesn't even read law.
No, listen. If
Go ahead.
it's under law and if it's a citable offense, then you do not have the right. That was just changed. You do not have the right to arrest us all. I promise you that.
What happened?
Call up your chief smarter. Talk to him, bro. What's up? So now you gonna arrest us all after July 25th?
I asked you last year. And you
I'm so curious. I'm so curious.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And your sir?
Do you want to repeat us on 25?
He does.
He really-
No, and they will get such fucked up. We got 75 people here. Yahoo gonna hop on it. ABC gonna hop on it.
Oh, I still have
This is
from
Lieutenant
the
Davis with the Omaha Police Department. Criminal activities occurring on this property are trespassing. Leave the property immediately or unlawful assembly will be declared.
This dude just asked why people wearing masks when there's still a fucking pandemic going on. Shows how fucking smart he is.
You gotta answer for that. That's you. That's you that gets to answer for that.
Oh, that I did
What about the
never
temporary
give
program?
up.
How many got enough?
I defend everyone here. I agreed to die for them. I agreed to serve my country. You agreed to serve fascist assholes.
Is encroaching upon us and invading our personal space because we are allowed
Yeah.
to protect ourselves.
You occupy my neighborhoods every single day. You occupy my neighborhood every single day.
My friends
Yet when we do it, apparently it's bad.
get arrested. I have been innocent and arrested.
I can't
And
wait
you
to hear
guys
you
have
answer.
let me fucking...
This is Lieutenant Davis with the Omaha Police Department. Criminal activity continues to occur within the crowd. I hereby declare an unlawful assembly. I command all those assembled immediately to leave. If you do not do so, you'll be arrested or subject to other police action, including the use of force. City Ordinance 20-418.
They are threatening use of force now. They are now threatening use of force for people just standing in a parking lot.
If you refuse to follow lawful order, you will leave the area. Chemical agents may be used. Please leave the area.
Good for y'all. Mr. Pickett. Brother, why you on the force? Brother, why you on the force? I got open doors for you. I forgot about you. I forget everything that you've done. And I open with open doors for you to come back onto the liberation side, brother. You have been brainwashed and you have been brainwashed through the capitalist bourgeois system.
If you use pepper
Yeah,
gas, are you gonna
I'm
get
talking about you, brother. I'm talking about you.
When I was 8, a cop broke into my house to come wake up my mom who was naked because my mom's out past curfew.
Criminal activity continues to occur within the crowd. I hereby declare unlawful assembly. I command all those assembled to immediately leave. If you do not do so, you may be arrested or subject to other police action, including the use of force. City Ordinance 20.
So as you can see, they are clearly threatening use of force against human beings who are literally standing in a parking lot.
activity? We are standing. There's no activity taking place.
The peace is coming. They got the bombs, they got the pepper balls.
the camera. Blow up the cameras. Let me know.
How do you spell Nazi?
OPD.
How do you spell Nazi?
OPD.
How do you spell Nazi?
OPD. OPD.
Y'all got your cameras ready?
OPD.
What you looking at?
Mind your your fucking business over there. They got, oh, and I made a few of them mad.
Cool.
What having to follow the fucking laws?
Yeah, that's what we're mad about. I called the president mad about little shit like that. Paul, can you come here?
Fucking fragile fucking fascist.
Come with me.
This is Lieutenant Davis of the Omaha Police Department. Criminal activity continues to occur within the assembly. If you refuse to move, you will be arrested.
The only unlawful assembly here is you.
Chemical agents may be used.
Hey, God,
Literally, they're threatening to use lethal force against a crowd that literally has nothing to fight back against them with. Like, it's fucking bullshit.
You got me? Did you get me, brother?
They got me too, bro. They got me too. They got me too.
Why you do that, bro?
Y'all already got my face. You don't remember it? It's cute.
This is Lieutenant Davis of the Omaha Police Department.
One of the officers just said that they're over here having fun.
Within the crowd, I hereby declare an unlawful assembly. I command those assembled to immediately leave. If you do not do so, you may be arrested.
As soon as they start shooting, we're gonna go run to the community center.
City Ordinance 20-28 remain present. If you refuse to move, you will be arrested. If you refuse to follow the lawful order and leave the area, chemical devices may be used. Please leave the area immediately.
Looks like we got some neighbors over here that are pretty interested.
Oh, you got the big stick, bro. Like you about to beat some black man up.
Yeah, that's a good one. The zip tie and the big.
Hey, where's 1807?
Yeah, right here. Yo. 1806, whatever.
Hey, you want to know the next though? Your guys' reaction is why those pig heads are right there with this fascistic policy. So remember this, soak that in, let that marinate. We are not going to let you treat us like shit no more. Now that is expired, I'm gonna let you know right now.
Nobody here has a weapon.
Bring your power into this. You keep on acting like this, those pig heads are right there.
There's only one person armed here, and they're standing right in fucking front of me. Shameful.
Y'all look like fools.
Y'all look like jackbooted thugs.
They are.
Anyone want their fucking hats? Come on, you're fucking missing them. So come on, get them.
Somebody let your hat in the
Get somebody? Yeah, fuck you.
Did you have a nice chase? How's it exercise? So for those of you who don't know why we started running, the police started charging the crowd. The police started charging the crowd, so we already had plans to run. This guy decided to run all the way. This is public property. Go back to your private property. I got you, bro. Okay. Yeah, I'll go now. I shouldn't be here. Yeah, that happened like under 5 seconds. As soon as officers made the step to go, everybody's already running. It's fucking. So we are now being pursued to where we originally started at. We currently have a helicopter overhead now. Able 1 is overhead, guys. We have cars. This is where we started.
Like I told you, if you ain't got that badge on, bro, you little bitch.
They are now chasing down Bear Alexander in the park.
No! Watch out! Leave him alone!
Let's go what?
Got a rep too?
Let's what?
Brent Bloom.
You got my photo. Stop taking it, bitch. Yeah, because what if people have epilepsy, you fucking dumbasses? For speaking his voice. That's why they're arresting him. Hey. I started already. Okay.
And you fuck boys! Try not to boys!
My car.
PJ Madicon!
I wish you fucking would touch me. Yeah, I don't see no white person under. Oh, maybe one. Never mind. That was cool.
Let's go! Let's go!
Go where? Go.
Where are you going? To your farm?
Go home. Currently, Bear is being arrested, and so is Cole. Who else was arrested? Who?
Paul, big boy.
Paul. Okay, got you. Oh,
We need to get bail together.
What the fuck?
To record right now and follow them.
Me. My car's already started.
Follow them right now.
I will. Alrighty. My car's already started. Alrighty, y'all. We gotta go. We gotta go handle some things. Definitely, we will keep everybody in the loop. As you guys know, Bear just got arrested. 2 other people just got arrested too as well. I gotta go.
I don't really want to go into it too much.
You're gonna go 1, 2, 3, and then you're gonna go Black Lives Matter. You ready? Loud as you can. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Pretty good. Do you think you could do any louder? You think maybe? Yeah. Can you? All right. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, it's on Twitter. If you did you permanently dye your brows? Oh wow, cool. Let me see.
I have to.
Hey. Looks good.
Black Lives Matter! 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 Black Lives Matter!
There's somebody trying to run into the crowd, but the motorcade is strong today. Okay, never mind. It's the Palestinian march joining in on this march.
Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter!
Yeah, they have there's the Palestinian march, and they're joining up with this with this march. I didn't see any Proud Boys. I just saw one person that pushed somebody who was marching. That's about it that I saw. Looks like the other group of people in Black Bloc are walking that way. And then the group of Palestinians are coming through with a car caravan. Right, Kay Variable? They're like, oh, I didn't know I couldn't say this racist thing. Yeah, this is live. Hey, what's up, Daniel?
Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! What's that spell? What is that spell? Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Defund the police.
Defund the police. Disband the police. Disband the police. Wants to give $11.2 million to the Menlo Park Police Department to continue to torment us, to continue to steal us from our homes, to continue to murder us. We won't have it. Whole streets.
Our streets.
Whole streets.
Our streets.
Whole streets. No justice.
No peace.
No racist
Police.
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 What band is it? Hippie Death Cult. Oh, okay, I've heard of them. Nice. Love that. Portland is great. Oh, I shouldn't get the guns. Some people on Facebook just asked if I was streaming. Here's the Free Palestine group. Oh, they got a big caravan. This is a George Floyd march, but there is a Free Palestine march, and they're joining up with this group. They have a car caravan. He's at home, I think. I'm not sure. I know, I was trying to get him to come out. Braxton, are you watching? Come out. Where are you at? Which hair color, the red or the green? Yeah, they always have hair that looks on point and beautiful. Mondo. Here's the tiny homes. Like I was saying, they should have more over here too, so that these people can have little homes, in my opinion. Oh yeah, this is a George Floyd march. It's almost the 1 year anniversary of his death, and almost a whole year of protesting in Portland. I'm putting on a little event on the 28th, which is the day that protest started in Portland. community a little bit more. I think local government knows that. Hopefully they can make some positive changes and provide more housing for the people that they're sweeping. They're starting to sweep more and more. They're ramping up the sweeps as 10-wheeler. So hopefully they can at least provide housing for those people so they can get on their feet. Like May 29th, I streamed on my account that's now private, my personal account. I was in my car and I was actually joining up with the Rose City March, May 29th, 2020. And a lot of the people that are here today are out the day that I streamed for the first time, because I went back and watched my old streams recently and recognized a lot of friends who I didn't know at the time, but I know now. Love to New Jersey. Which bridge this was. It's Hawthorne Bridge. Woo, sorry.
Yeah, I just think that they're...
Israel are terrorists! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Israel are terrorists! Israel are terrorists! Free Palestine! From the river to the sea! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! From the river to the sea! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Black lives matter! Black lives matter!
Thank you for subbing.
Black lives matter! 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 Free Palestine!
Thanks, Karma Jewelry. Appreciate you. Oh yeah, I need to get me some water. Thanks for the reminder.
Together, brothers and sisters, I know no more. I want to thank Lisa Dancer for making this beautiful drum that I'm in Haiska, which means thank you in the local language, correct? Haiska. And so, yeah, I just thank you all for being here and marching with me. Marching with you, and thank you. I was so nervous, so I didn't do that over the top. I wanted to do it justice. But thank you. That's the first time I sang it in person. I asked for permission, so thank you for bearing witness. I'm still meeting this drum. So thank you very much. And thank you, Simeon. I'm not going to speak just yet. I really want to call some of the allies up here to say some words to the family, you know, what you learned, how you healed, anything. It's pretty painful to be up here sometimes singing. I mean, Renee's poetry is beautiful. Those are stories. A lot of tears, a lot of griefs, a lot of happy times in there too. But it's pretty painful sometimes. Seeing his words to their words. It's great. Justifiable. But there's healing too. And I think that as I look out here, so many people have gone through this journey with us. And, you know, share with them. And, I mean, just a few people. Anybody, as many people that want to record, be brave. I'm just going to say, black folks go through this every time we tell a story. Not even just black folks, in this fight. Anybody share their story, it's hard. Over and over and over again. But we do it because we know that...
You don't happen to have an extra sweatshirt right there, do you?
That's how we're surviving. We need to get it out to as many people as
Happen to
possible.
have an extra layer I could put on, do you?
I'm calling on you guys. Share some more with the family. You don't even have to say any words to the family. Say something to
Can you hold this for a second?
the mayor, anybody. You want to come in? Trying to be brave. I'm gonna bring the microphone with me.
I'll go though. I don't have any to
There
say.
you go again.
I'll go with you.
Just ask. Fuck police. It's a damn shame. Like speaking to y'all, I can only imagine what the hell y'all going through because I've only been doing this shit for almost a year now. The amount of white fragility that you have to deal with just trying to speak to your actual lived experience. Not just a lived experience, but one that's like really traumatic for me. Just seeing people gaslight your perspective, find ways to just kind of remove the value in your viewing what you experience. And it's like it's one of those things that's it's like oh shit, well that's gonna happen because colonizers and white America and all that. But I think the roughest part is having these events. Seeing people come, white people start calling them out, and then not seeing the conversation get further for us. You know what I'm saying? But I can't imagine what that's like. That's only been, like I said, like 11 months. I really do feel for you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, this shit should have been taken away in 2015. Just some thoughts. So thank you guys. Stand together, we can make it. That's all I got.
Families that are here today impacted by violence, missiles, and protectors of the Salish Sea. I'd like to invite you all up here, all the indigenous families, people, just in the center.
How you doing on this here?
racist system. No bad protester in a
There you are, it's gonna hit you up, Black Goddess.
Oh my God! Oh, so got your ADM mask.
That's full of mace. You have an extra mask?
No, I'm so sorry, boy. Why didn't you tell me nothing? Why didn't you tell me that?
Well, we just got mace, like that's all.
I'm sorry, I wasn't expecting. I'm sorry, boo. Continue.
How you doing?
I'm good, boo. I'm happy. Hey. Shout out to the Bay Area, always showing love, always doing shut things. This is what I'm fucking talking about. While some of y'all be scared to take down here, the Bay Area has been fearless every fucking time in shutting it down, whether it's the street, highway, bridge, it doesn't fucking matter, y'all. The one thing I know is you shut it down when you come to the Bay. Yes, sir, they out here, Y'all thought I wasn't gonna come support the Hood Squad. Come on, y'all. It's the Hood Squad.
Defund the police! Defund the police! Disband the police! Disband the police!
Defund the police!
Can I talk to you real quick?
Of course.
Yeah. How you doing?
I'm well, how are you?
Did that message get communicated to you?
No, I didn't know anything that communicated to me. You have my number, so I don't know.
Yeah. So nobody reached out to you?
No.
So what was that message on social media when you said you understood?
I got the memo about your event, so I was coming up, like... You guys literally, I've always been coming to your events, and I've never done anything, so that's why I'm confused that if there was a message to be relayed to me, nobody told me.
You got your live on?
Of course, I'm always on live. So I didn't know that there was a message to be relayed.
You mind turning it off so we can have a private conversation?
I would love to have a private conversation. We don't have each other's phone numbers, which is why I'm really confused right now. Why you're... I feel like I'm being cornered right now.
No.
And I do, because you said a private conversation and I see...
Can you turn your live off so we can talk?
No, absolutely. I'm just saying that I just feel like I'm being cornered right now. That's how I feel like.
No police presence.
We are going to have a private conversation.
If you've been watching the protests since last May, you'll recognize this place. There were a lot of events that ended here, and a lot of good speeches had here. Dinosaur block? Yeah, that'd be awesome. That's pretty cool, Wiggity. Hey, what's up, Loham? Now I really wish I would have brought my coat. Oh well. Yeah, I'm good.
Put a little feed under a tree and think about them, maybe say a few names, and go up to them, and then they'll come to us and they'll sit on our shoulder and they'll make us stronger. They'll make us stronger and they'll make us wiser, and they'll help us make good decisions in this world, and they'll help us heal this insanity of colonialism and the abuse of colonialism. We cannot live in a world like this anymore. We must change it now, right now. Question.
on a boy who was sitting, his hands behind his head. The dog attacks him, police dog, for like 30 seconds. Can you count to 30? That's a stupid long time. No action. He's just sitting there following orders, and there's no punishment for that police officer because it's never happened before. Qualified immunity means if it's never happened before and there's no specific rule against it, there's no action taken. So you fire into a crowd and you accidentally kill somebody. Well, there wasn't any specific action saying you couldn't fire against that person while they are fleeing, so they get away with it. So the police get to do things, and because it's not specifically every detail of life written down, or there hasn't been a case about it, lining it out before, they get to do whatever. That's unacceptable. So there's other states who have banned it. We haven't. We're trying to, because it would make a difference in holding people accountable for their actions. Police accountability is a real thing. We don't have it in this country. It's necessary to function as a civilization, I think. So we'll hear about that. Yeah, pretty excited about it. Solomon, you got any news? Nah. In the meantime, how about say his name?
George Floyd!
Say his name.
George Floyd!
Say his name.
George Floyd!
Say his name.
George Floyd!
We're here because it's been almost a year. Next week will be a year since he was murdered. An entire year has gone by, and not a whole lot has happened. I mean, there have been some awesome things, but in the grand scheme of oppression, there's a long ways to go. And it's important now that we keep fighting and that we inform people that there's so much farther to go, because there's a lot of folks that I know who think, oh, Biden's in. We did it. Is that true?
No.
Is it true?
No.
Is it true?
Hell no.
But people think so, right? Y'all know people who are like, oh, phew. That's tiring. I'm good. Right? It's our jobs. It's your jobs. You're here, and the work is heavy, and it's hard, and it's ongoing, but it's necessary. And it's our jobs to keep doing that work, to keep informing people of the atrocities that are still happening and what we can do to change it. We have to do stuff. Like showing up is awesome, and there's homework, right? You have to call your representatives. You have to know who your representatives are. You have to call them and tell them what you need, what you want. You have to stand up and speak up for people who aren't at the table, which means observing who is at the table. Like, I don't always remember that there are stairs to the buildings that I'm in because I don't think about it because I can walk up the stairs. But it's my job as someone who can walk up the stairs to notice that there's nobody who has different abilities at the table. And I have to speak up and say, hey, is there a ramp? Is there an elevator? Is there something? What are you doing to make this more accessible for everyone? And it's hard to remember that always. Like, look around and notice in a room, like, how many women are on your executive leadership? How many black people are on your executive leadership? How many Asians? What kind? Like, South Pacific Islander? Yeah. Like, yeah. You're Solomon.
I didn't mean to cut her off. She was just ready. But, sorry. Thank you guys for coming out. I wanted to bring up to speak somebody who I just came to know over the past year as I was able to get involved with a play that she wrote. There's a project meant to be a play. Because it was COVID time, we ended up recording and presenting it as a film called Silent Voices. And she wrote this, was inspired to write this because her grandson was a victim of the police, Quantus Hayes. You guys remember Quantus Hayes? Mm-hmm. Say his name.
Quantus Hayes.
Say his name.
Quantus Hayes.
So Quantus Hayes' grandmother, Donna, she's here. She has some words prepared, and she's going to speak to us. Give her a hand.
comment about Joe Biden. I didn't know that. Oh yeah, you have one now. Yeah, it's hard to get stickers.
Thank you for having me. I'm a person that like to write. And this was a way for me to get through my grief. And so I wrote this. It's called The Unimaginable. It's about what parents go through after their families have been killed by police violence. Unimaginable. The unimaginable means difficult or impossible to imagine or incomprehensible. This is the plight of families all over the United States that have had their family members murdered through police violence. To get the call or read it on social media, that's the way I got it, or media call you for a story that their loved ones have been killed, and that was through Shelley Morgan, her son Brad Morgan, not just killed at the hands of cops, but feeling something doesn't sound right. It is inconceivable the manner of their death, or something that is so out of character. At the moment, the pain is mind-boggling. There are families in this country across these 50 states who deal with the incredible pain, suffering, and hardship of the unimaginable. They live with the unbelievable concept that they are gone. Mothers live with the torment that the person they carried to birth, went through labor with, whether hard or easy, it's gone. When the unimaginable happens, there is an indescribable hole their life where the life was. Gone is the dreams. Gone is the future. Gone is the hope. Gone are the plans for the future. All the dreams, hopes, and plans replaced with unimaginable. There are fathers with the plans to impart knowledge to their offspring. If it was ugliness of the world, they wanted her to grow healthy and know how a man should treat her. If it's a boy, they wanted to teach them the strength of a man. They would impart to him the need to protect and support the family. And if it was a child happened to fall in the class of LGBTQ, he will give them that safe space. He will teach society how to see them right. But when the unimaginable happens, there is a fury. Gone is the joy of watching them grow. Gone is the strength and purpose. Gone is the light in their eyes. Gone are all the joys, all the purpose, and the light of his life is replaced with the unimaginable. Can you imagine watching a video of the last moment of someone dear? Watching a video as cops tase someone dear over and over again. Watch them tase him all over, even in the testicle. This was happening to Graham Dyer. His parents watched them be tased like that. There is a set of parents whose life has been changed over that video. A married mother carried her child to fruition, only to see the death at the hands of an overzealous cop with a torturous desire. Watching him take his first breath, now his last scream. Many families in this country spend time with the unimaginable, knowing the person you brought into this life was taken from you in a hail of bullets. Your child was running in fear as a cop joyously gunned him down in the back. Your child is beaten to death for saying something a cop didn't like. Your child choked to death for just being at the wrong place at the wrong time. Later, the cops just fist bump each other for great joy they have done. Many fathers in this country spend time with the unimaginable, knowing that the person you so happily awaited their entrance into the world was killed just because a cop believed your child looked like a gangbanger. That's what happened to Keith Notice. Your child was in a car that the cops thought he did not belong in, and a neighborhood he didn't belong in. James Perez. Now these are Portland people. Cops ready to shoot, and the flash of their muzzle, then the unimaginable occurs. They watch a few teens get into a car, and the only one that doesn't come home is yours. This is not a father's dream, nor now he lives with hurt and guilt, wondering where he went wrong and what he could have done to change. He now must stay strong when all he wants to do is break down as his heart is steady ripping inside. He is now often caught having that blank stare as he relives the past, living the unimaginable. Can you imagine standing in a hallway, handcuffed, listening to your husband beg for his life? You see him trying to crawl on his hands and knees just as he can be cuffed, standing near a cop with your gun pointing at the father of your kids, seeing written on the cop's gun, "You're fucked." Bang! Your plans are over. Part of your unimaginable is to explain to your children what happened. Your unimaginable continues, and you wonder how you will keep your child from seeing the video when it's public on YouTube. John Elefritz, that's another Portland. Can you imagine watching your wife killed? Part of your unimaginable is standing watching a cop trying to kill the family dog. Bang! Your wife is on the ground instead. Another part of your unimaginable is knowing your child watched his mother die on a cold sidewalk. What is so unimaginable is how you will remove that sight and the nightmares that accompany that unnecessary action. Watching the unimaginable is living in a house where your grandson took his last breath. The backyard where cops could have left the young man alone but felt the need to follow. What is unimaginable is that he lost his life for holding a cell phone. Can you imagine again having family over for barbecues? Can you imagine having to take out the garbage and see the place where he took his last breath? What is unimaginable is your other half, your twin. Can you imagine your twin on a secluded road, alone, surrounded by cops? You can feel the fire that your mirror of yourself is falling. Your life has changed. Your friend is gone. All you are left with is memories of what could have and what should have in life. We all have many coping mechanisms when dealing with the unimaginable. Some of us hand over the grief of the unimaginable to a higher power. Some of us have families they talk to and depend on. Many seek counseling because day after day gets harder to make it through. There are fighters who go into the trenches so they don't have to feel the pain of the unimaginable. If you see a person sitting in the park crying, they might be living the unimaginable. If you see a person sitting on a bus staring out the window, not actually looking at anything, they might be living the unimaginable. If you see someone walking down the street talking to themselves, they might be living the unimaginable. Don't judge the unimaginable. I lived through the unimaginable. I didn't see my grandson's life being taken. He was 17. I had all sorts of plans. I seen things in him that he possibly could do. Things that he promised me. Him and my daughter promised when I get my old age, they would take care of me. He's gone. I'm missing one that's gonna help take care of me. So know this, if you see me walking down the street talking to myself, I'm living the unimaginable.
We love you,
I'm not crying. You're crying.
Wow. Powerful words. I was, as I said, I had the pleasure of making the acquaintance of Donna because of the powerful words that she wrote on behalf of her grandson, as well as a handful of other people who fell victim to the police. So you guys go and check out the film. It's called Silent Voices. You can find it on Open Signal. Last I checked, it was still up on Open Signal.
Silent Voices on Open Signal.
It's really powerful. Let's give Donna another round of applause.
Yeah, exactly, your snake.
So we talked about some of the things that are important to us that we want you guys to have on the forefront of your mind. Some of the political action that's going on right now. And we've got a returning speaker, somebody who graced our stage last year, who also recently was helping to run a mayoral campaign that got really close to winning. He's going to come and speak on behalf of the Still in Prison campaign, Mr. Greg McKelvey. Give him a hand.
Hi everybody, sorry my son, I guess, has decided to join me.
Yay!
I'm so happy to grace the stage with Donna Hayes. Actually, my son's first protest ever, he met Donna Hayes, and I still have the picture, and it's one of my most proud moments. Today I'm going to talk to you about the Still in Prison campaign and about non-unanimous juries in Oregon. I think we all saw the powerful images of statues, monuments being pulled down, monuments to racism last year and this year. But I want to remind us that we also have to pull down the institutional monuments to racism, many of which still exist here in the state of Oregon. Every juror's voice is supposed to matter, but up until 2020, not in Oregon. For over 80 years, Oregonians were oppressed by a law pushed by the Ku Klux Klan to silence the voices and opinions of whoever they wanted on criminal juries. In April 2020, the United States Supreme Court finally acknowledged what was long obvious, that this law is rooted in racism and discrimination and is unconstitutional. Yet hundreds are still in prison in Oregon. Thousands who have served their time still are burdened by their unconstitutional convictions. It's not okay. But we, here in this crowd, have the power to change this. In every other state in the country and in federal courts, every person on a jury has to vote that the prosecution proved guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. A unanimous jury is the cornerstone of American law. Oregon was the last state in the country to allow a person to be convicted and sent to prison even when up to 2 people voted not guilty, allowing a 10-2 or an 11-1 non-unanimous decision meant that the opinions of 2 jurors could be completely disregarded in silence. The jury could and did convict without them. So I'm going to go through a little bit of this history. It's something that every time I talk about, people are astonished that it happened here in Oregon. But in 1898, Louisiana endorsed non-unanimous juries at a constitutional convention to, quote, establish the supremacy of the white race. The non-unanimous jury rule was passed in order to ensure, quote again, to ensure that African-American juror service would be meaningless. Then in 1934, during a rising tide of racism, anti-Semitism, and xenophobia pushed by the KKK, Oregon joined Louisiana as the only other state to allow non-unanimous juries, specifically to silence the voices of minorities. In 1985, while imprisoned in Louisiana for a crime he didn't commit, a man named Calvin Duncan started learning the law first to help himself. He ultimately became a jailhouse lawyer, getting paid 20 cents an hour to help other men with their legal cases. He started noticing that non-unanimous juries were putting a lot of people behind bars unfairly. He filed petition after petition challenging non-unanimous juries, and he repeatedly lost. But in 2011, after 23 petitions, after 18 and a half years in prison, Calvin Duncan was released, and the Supreme Court finally took up the case. On Calvin Duncan's 23rd attempt, the Supreme Court finally agreed to take up the issue and decide whether the Louisiana and Oregon non-unanimous jury laws were constitutional. And it was Justice Kavanaugh, actually, who wrote the opinion, joined with the liberal justices, and said that non-unanimous juries are rooted in racism, and struck down the decision. That was the Ramos case. In the Ramos case, they got rid of non-unanimous juries, and nobody in the state of Oregon will ever be convicted of a non-unanimous jury ever again. Thank you, Stokely. This is good. This is good, but there are over 300 people still imprisoned and thousands of people still living with the burden of these convictions, or who did so until their death, that are still in prison because that constitutional ruling was not retroactive. So even though this rule is rooted in racism, even though that it was pushed by the KKK, even though that it's specifically designed to silence the voices of minority jurors, there are still people right up the street, there's still people in all of the Oregon prisons still in jail for non-unanimous juries because of racism. There's a juror that I'm in contact with named Cash Spencer. She was the only black person in the courtroom other than the defendant. She was a holdout juror, but the black man still went to jail for over 20 years, to prison for over 20 years, because the third holdout juror didn't have child care for the next day of jury duty. The only 2 black people in the courtroom. So what do we do now, right? There's 300 people in jail. Well, luckily, our Attorney General has the power today to free, or not to free, but to grant new trials for all the people still in prison because of non-unanimous juries. And she hasn't yet, because it hasn't been a political issue. Raise your hand in the crowd if you've heard of non-unanimous juries before this. Wow, then we've done a good job of the campaign. But for a long time, so many people hadn't. But I need every one of you to join the Still in Prison campaign. We have a website, stillinprison.org, and we need you to sign the petition that is still in prison. So if you have a phone, take it out right now. stillinprison.org. On that website, there's going to be a petition for you to sign to tell the Attorney General to grant these people new trials. We're not saying open up the gates. We're not saying that everybody needs to be freed because of this instantly. We're saying that every person convicted by a Jim Crow jury deserves a jury trial that is untainted by this specific form of KKK-pushed racism. Y'all on that website, you see the petition? You got it? You got it? So I want to tell y'all right now, the Attorney General could fix this issue. Ellen Rosenblum could fix this issue with the stroke of a pen in one day. If you tell all of your friends, all of your neighbors about this issue, that everybody convicted of non-unanimous juries will get a fair new trial. We're also looking for a legislative fix. If you're part of an organization, just like Rose City Justice, please join the coalition and get involved in this campaign so that we can make sure that we get rid of Jim Crow juries. And once again, if we are pulling down monuments to racism, let's also pull down the institutional monuments to racism. Thank you all.
Through her dad, and a whole other family out there. So thank you guys for being strong and for holding your head high, coming to the city. Yeah. Yep. Your business. So yes, my name is Tawana, and I just want to say that we can do better, even better than this. I said, I was thinking just now, I'm not going to come out here and campaign, but I see signs everywhere. But, I'm not going to campaign, I'm just going to be me. I didn't plan anything. But I want to say that we have a lot of work to do outside of just coming together. This is so beautiful. But like Paul said, they want to destroy us. They don't want his voice in that office. They don't want us in that building, let alone for me to take a seat at City Council. It's been 30 years since a black person has been on the council, and just won it. 30 years, and every video I see online of our current council, Mayor Selby, saying that the voices of those most impacted need to be centered. I don't know when she gave an invitation to Crystal to come speak. Never.
Nope.
Noel, never. Me, never. None of us. And we've got to change that. Do you want this back? Our voices carry so far. But we really need to change that in August, in November, and get those folks out of office. We have to tell all of our friends. No, you got to tell all your friends. I done told mine. You got to tell all your friends, your loved ones, that this is not a fluke. I love the city. I love people. People say, why are you running? How can you help the city? I can take care of the city like I took care of my kids. Yes. Woo! And I don't take that lightly.
Yeah.
Not those babies of mine. But that's how I feel about the city. You know, looking at Jasmine's little baby here, that little boy, we're doing this for him. Doing it for my friend over there. My partner right there. We're doing it for the kids. But we have to tell, I really need your help. There's only one other candidate out there who is setting me sensibly, and I'm standing right in front of them right here. And that's Sarah, running for position number 6. But this is serious. When I did decide to run, I said it in passing to my friends, to my family at Surge, and said, hey, you know, I think I want to run for council. And Kendra said, let's do it. And then I thought, I don't have no money. I don't have a whole lot of time, and they can't stand me at City Hall. And so a group of people came together, and they just said, you know what, we're going to get behind you, and we're going to push for this. We're going to fight for this. Yeah. It's needed. And, you know, again, I don't take it lightly. I don't wish this on anybody. You know, I don't take it lightly at all. It's very serious to me. I still have never received a phone call back from anybody in that council. An email, no return emails, nothing. Yet they say that our voices need to be centered. We need to be at the head of the decision-making tables. And I can't get an email back. Except for when I want to go place a sign at the office on State Street, the Democrat office, they removed my sign and said that I needed to call and talk to my incumbent and ask permission to put a sign in the yard. Gross. And I need to ask her, why would I call her? She wanted me to call me back about the murder of my aunt. And she's going to call me back about a plastic sign. And I'm sharing that to say that's how disrespectful they are. They're not taking it seriously. When my mom talked to Jay Burney, he called to tell her some lies about the case. And my mom said, you know what? My daughter's running for city council. You're going to watch her ass. And he laughed at her. And her ear so loud she could pull the phone away. So disrespectful. So disrespectful. And so it's like, that gave me more fuel. And as we've run, I mean, this campaign is completely people-powered. One of the most touching things that happened was Derek was going through, my campaign manager was going through the donations, and I got a $6 donation, and I cried. That tells me that somebody gave their last to help get me in office. Gave their last. I mean, and that's the entire campaign, the entire donor list. Everybody that's working on my team, we don't have any fancy consultants that we're hiring. I'm consulting with people because that's who are the pros and the experts. Not a consulting firm to pay $2,700 every 2 weeks. I don't know how much they spend, a lot. That's why they're raising all that money. I want to raise money to do outreaches. I want to raise money to help the encampments while we figure out a plan to get these folks housed.
I can't whistle with a mask on.
I have the joy of being on all these emails.
I can't whistle with a mask on.
I don't know these people, but I'm on all these email lists. And an email I got the other day, it was a survey, and it was a bunch of folks, and no disrespect to the group, I won't name the name of the group because they're supportive, but these are white folks who are they're privileged and they have money. And it was a survey for them to fill out about homelessness. I was like, am I reading this correctly? And now that I'm in the email chain, they asked me to fill it out. Hell no. I mean, it's about those most impacted. So I responded with, have you guys handed this out to any homeless folks? I can honestly say, some people want to live like that. Some people may be accustomed to living that way. Nobody wants to live that way. And we need to help them. But we have to start, the only way that's going to happen is to get out and vote and get folks registered to vote. I can't, my plea to you all, I mean, like I said, I've got a bunch of allies out here. All of you guys, I've seen you guys at many events. For the next 73 days, it's going to be an event. Every day is an event. To get folks registered to vote, to take the power